All right, folks, welcome to Fifth Street Soccer here on Sports Byline USA, SB Nation Radio. I'm Nick Geber along with Nick Webster. What a day we're having. We'd like to welcome you all to our brand new time slot. That's Monday through Friday, right now 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, and again at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be bringing you World Cup every day, as well as Saturdays, by the way, at 2 p.m. Pacific. So stay with us right here on Sports Byline SB Nation Radio as we give you the right picks to make you a happy person. And Nick, you and Nick Webster, you and I both obviously big England supporters. We're going to talk about the match today in detail. Where are you, Nick Webster? What is that noise I hear behind you?
Well, right now I'm at England headquarters, otherwise known as the Cock and Bull pub in Santa Monica. You're probably hearing a real buzz in the background, and that's because finally they didn't rip our hearts out and trample all over them. Finally, we found a way to get the job done, to take all 3 points. I mean, I'm not going to say it's a great advert for football, but thank you, England. Thank you.
Well, that's right, Nick. It was. We're going to talk about the match because there are 3 matches we're going to talk about for tomorrow, and of course we're going to give you our picks and values: Japan, Colombia, Senegal, Poland, Egypt, Russia. As we start the cycle again, these are the matches for tomorrow. So we're going to talk about tomorrow's matches. We're also going to talk about some of the big upsets and surprises so far, and of course, as both Nick and I are England supporters, we're going to talk about the England match as well as today's Belgian match. And we're going to go through that in some detail. All right, folks.
What's the cat doing on the set?
I can't help it. They let her into the stadium, Nick. They let her into the stadium. All right. You can find us on the web at fifthstreetsports.com. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/fifthstreetsportstalk or on Twitter at Fifth Street Sports. That's the way to get us. If you want to talk to us in the studio, you can do that. We'd love to hear from you. If you've got a question for us about the right bets to place here for the World Cup, you can do that at 1-800-878-PLAY. That's 1-800-878-PLAY. We're brought to you by betanyesports.eu. Right now, if you go, sign up, use the affiliate code Fifth Street, you can get a 50% bonus on your deposit up to $1,000 whole dollars. So while we're going to commercial break, which is what we're going to do in just a couple of seconds, you go ahead and do that. Remember, use the affiliate code Fifth Street. This is Fifth Street Soccer. We'll be right back.
To what Chris said about Andro 400.
I've lost almost 40 pounds. I was getting married, and when I went for the suit fitting, I was a size 48. And when I went back to do the final fitting, I was a 44. I have more energy, that's for sure. I probably lost 4 inches around my belly. I'm 57, and I'm back when I was in my 30s.
Here's what Dwayne said about Andro 400.
This product really works. I'm an old guy and I don't trust nobody. And I've tried all kinds of stuff. It's one of the few things I've ever bought that works. I couldn't believe it. I feel better. I have more energy. I walk 12 miles a day. I feel great. It changed my life. It really has. It's really incredible.
Guys, if you'd like to lose belly fat, gain energy, and feel great, try Andro 400, the safe, natural, and affordable way to boost your testosterone. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435. Andro400.com.
Want to fly somewhere? Looking for cheap flights or cheap tickets? Then call. That's right. Call the low-cost airline travel hotline now for prices so low we can't publish them anywhere. Low Cost Airlines has all kinds of cheap travel deals. Fly domestically and save up to 75%. You can even fly internationally and save even more. Yes, fly anywhere in the world and save a lot of money on your plane tickets. We'll even save you money with cheap travel deals on hotels, rental cars, even complete travel packages. So don't book your tickets until you call us first for the absolute cheapest prices on U.S. and international airline tickets and hotels. Call right now for prices so low they can't be published. Travel experts are here 24/7 to help. 800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. That's 800-754-4531.
If you or a loved one is suffering from a physical or emotional condition that has left you unable to work, then listen carefully. Take this number down. 800-593-7491. That's 800-593-7491. When you call, you'll speak with a Social Security disability expert and get a free evaluation to see if you may qualify for disability insurance benefits from the U.S. government. That's right, a monthly cash payment paid directly to you from the Social Security Administration. Whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied disability benefits, call now. The disability attorneys at Pinnacle Disability can help you build your case, file an appeal, and represent you.
20 seconds, stand by.
Don't wait another minute to see if you may qualify for your Social Security disability benefits. Call Pinnacle Disability Group at 800-593-7491 for your free case evaluation. That's 800-593-7491. 800-593-7491. Call now.
Come on, Tony. Come on, son.
All right. Welcome back, folks. Fifth Street Soccer. It is a day of celebration as we enjoy the World Cup and some of the surprising results. Nick Geber here along with Nick Webster. Coming up later on in the show in about 10 minutes, we're going to be giving you all of our picks for tomorrow's matches. We've got 2 in Group H, and then we start with our first match back in Group A. But in the meanwhile, let's look back at what's happened here. Some of the, quite frankly, massive surprises on a World Cup, Nick Webster, that has delivered on the promise, finally.
Yes, I mean, coming into this World Cup, I think people are focusing on politics more than football. And at the end of the day, football is winning, and winning in a glorious fashion. I mean, we saw some fantastic games yesterday. The Mexico-Germany, it really was top quality international football at its very best. And then the drama today, you can't look further than England, but Belgium putting together a very, very good performance. Sweden grinding one out. So this World Cup is delivering on all kind of fronts. It's giving you the kind of entertainment that we hope for, but it's also showing that world football, sometimes you need to knuckle down and not be so pretty. But what I can tell you from the vibe I'm getting here in Los Angeles, I'm at one of the local bars. People are so into it. Nick, I cannot tell you how many accents I heard today. There were accents from every single part of the world. This wasn't England and America. This was Tunisia, France, Germany, Mexico. This World Cup has really grabbed people by the short, and it really is something really special, and we're seeing some amazing results so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about that, Nick. I mean, if you had told me coming into this World Cup that Argentina, Germany, Spain, Portugal, Brazil would all have dropped points in their first match, and that France would grind out an ugly result, not look like world beaters, and that Belgium would put together, it would take really the second half before Belgium could finally put the spanking on what is one of the worst teams in the tournament, I wouldn't have believed you, Nick. I wouldn't have believed you. We're so used to the sort of powerhouses of Germany and Spain and Portugal and Real Madrid and Barcelona, and the people that win always win, and everybody gets used to it. Well, we're going to talk about a little bit about that in the next segment, Nick. But for my mind, this is what I love about football. You and I have been around old enough and have been around long enough to have seen the various cycles in football. We didn't just start following the sport in the last 17 years. If you had, you would have been used to the same old people winning all the time. But we get these changes in football. We get these sort of shifts as certain teams age out and styles change. And I think, Nick Webster, we are at the cusp of that happening right now.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you 100%. When you look at the German team and the Spanish team, there's so many players that we saw in 2010, in 2014, and now where are the new guys coming through? The same with Argentina. Now, I'm not saying that England's going to win the World Cup. Said to themselves, you know what? We are going to make some changes here. We're going to interject youth to our play. And that's been shown in the game so far, because the teams that play with energy, play with a forward-thinking mentality, are the teams that have really taken this World Cup by the scruff of the neck. And, I mean, hopefully it can continue. We know that as we move into the group stages, things tend to get a little tentative, and certainly in the knockout rounds where people are afraid to lose. But right now, there's an atmosphere surrounding this World Cup that leads me to believe that
I'm sorry, Nick.
And all the teams are going to be doing it.
We lost you. You were talking about the atmosphere. You said that leads you to believe what? We lost you for a moment.
Sorry, Nick. I'm freezing on you here a little bit because of the the excitement here in the Cock and Bull. People have got their cell phones out. They're texting their friends around the world. The Wi-Fi is being just crumbled. I mean, I would love to see Twitter right now. I'm sure it's completely up the hill.
Yeah, right. Well, we're going to talk about that a lot. We're going to also look at our picks coming up for tomorrow's matches: Japan, Colombia, Senegal, Poland, Egypt, Russia. Some interesting matchups coming up that we certainly have to give some time to. Particularly the Egypt-Russia is one that I think is very, very juicy and could have an awful lot of ramifications for who comes out of that group. And of course, with only really 3 matches per team per group, every match is critically important, which, Nick Webster, is why it was so important today for this young English team to grind out that result against a rather cynical Tunisia that packed every man behind the ball. England, unlike the England of old, their heads didn't drop, they didn't give up, they didn't feel like someone should just hand them the 3 points. These young kids went out there and played hard, and finally the quality shone through. And the other part of it, Nick, is it's really great for an England squad to finally have their superstar actually performing. 2 goals from Harry Kane. That's what everyone was hoping for.
Nick, honestly, from your lips to God's ears, to see the team lose their way. To be honest with you, they lost their way a little bit in the second half after a first half of scintillating football. And if they'd taken their chances, they would have been 4 or 5-0 up. I mean, let's be honest. But then to see, like you said, to not have their heads drop, and to have, this is the luxury, Nick, to have the players of Rashford and Loftus-Cheek to come in and supply that little bit of excitement, that little bit of drive. And then, as you mentioned, to finally, after all these years, to have a player of world-class quality who can win a game for you at the Dare. It feels so good to be English right now.
Well, it's been a long time coming, and the ghosts of 1966 are starting to stir, I think, Nick Webster, starting to stir. I don't think England are going to win this World Cup, but a good run, solid performance. This is a very young group of players, Nick, that we can expect to see it 2 years from now in the Euros and 4 years from now in Qatar. We're going to see these same players together. They're young, they're cohesive, they believe they can win. And this is what England fans have been hoping for, let's be honest, about 3 decades, Nick.
But to be honest with you, Nick, football's all about momentum. And the momentum of the first half, and you're thinking to yourself, wow, England look like world beaters. They conceded, let's be honest, a very dodgy penalty. And as we just said, second half lose their way. But to get that first victory when you're just a young, inexperienced team, I mean, I don't want to get a little ahead of myself, but this was the kind of result that can send belief rushing through the squad. And as a coach myself, belief is the most powerful component in football, regardless if you have the best players, the best team, the best atmosphere surrounding it. If your players have belief and then the fans start having belief, then anything is possible.
Which is why, Nick Webster, if we look beyond just England, maybe that result, that ugly result that France got against Australia, the result that a lot of people thought was unfair, will have the same effect on this young French squad that is so absolutely stocked with talent. And their big star, Pogba, coming through at the end to win it for them. Maybe it'll have the same effect over there. We could see the emergence of 2 very strong teams out of this.
I love the way you're thinking there, Nick Geber. I mean, can you imagine two young teams? I mean, they're the 2 youngest teams in the tournament, France and England, and really taking the tour by the scruff of the... One thing I would like to mention, though, is we did say the over for the England-Tunisia game. So thank you very much for that. And we Germany-Mexico game. So right now, you and I, Mr. Geber, we are in the money.
Yeah, we're in the money. We have been very uncannily accurate. And if you listen to the show on Saturday, when we gave you our picks for the Mexico-Germany game, we told you Mexico was going to get a draw, possibly even win this, that Germany were a little stale, a little slow, and that we felt that Mexico, with some belief, really could drive far in this tournament. And you know, Nick, that's one name I didn't mention earlier, and that is Mexico. This team, to me, looked like world beaters. Technical ability, speed, belief, cohesion. The Mexican team, to me, looked extremely strong. We're going to go through our matches for tomorrow coming up right after the break. We're going to have to go to break here in 45 seconds. Nick Webster is at the Cock and Bull in Santa Monica in Los Angeles celebrating the England victory at this World Cup, their first match against Tunisia. As you can hear from the noise around him, he's having a few and having a great time. I'm here in our studio, Moscow Central. We are bringing you all of the picks. Coming up, folks, we're going to talk about Japan, Colombia, Senegal, Poland, Egypt, Russia. I'm going to tell you why 2 draws would not be a surprise for me tomorrow. And right now, great value on those draws. We're going to give you those picks and those values courtesy of BetAnySports.eu. Don't go anywhere. This is Fifth Street Soccer on Sports Byline USA.
Do you use the blue pill to charge your sex life? Have you been thinking about trying the blue pill? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pill delivers the exact same results for less than $3. We'll do the math for you. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. Want more? We'll give you 40 blue pills or 40 yellow pills for $99 and add 4 more pills free. You save more than $500. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know what to do next. You need to call and get your 44 pills for just $99. Stop overpaying for the other blue pills. Call us and start saving a ton of money for the exact same results. Ordering is fast and easy with your pills delivered to your door in a non-marked package. 800-223-0992. 800-223-0992. 800-223-0992. That's 800-223-0992.
Are you an inventor who would like to try to have an invention or idea patented and submitted to companies, but you don't know what to do next? Call for free information from InventHelp. InventHelp, a leading inventor service company, has been helping inventors since 1984 and has sales offices located in more than 60 cities nationwide. You'll want to talk to the company that has helped secure more than 7,000 invention patents. So call InventHelp. Even if you have an idea for improving an existing product and don't know where to go with it, you'll still want to call InventHelp for free information. You'll find out how InventHelp may assist you in trying to patent your invention and submit it to companies. So call now.
Call InventHelp at 1-800-316-1738. That's 1-800-316-1738. Get your free information by dialing 1-800-316-1738. That's 1-800-316-1738. 1-800-316-1738.
Hi, I'm Dr. Robert Clapper, Chief of Orthopedic Surgery at Cedars-Sinai Medical Group in Los Angeles, California. Dedicated to your health, your life, and your sports. As a weekend warrior, you know about sports injuries and pain. Exercise is an important element in keeping your body's core in good shape to minimize sports injuries. But when you are in pain, there is one product that I recommend to my patients, and that is Blue Goo Gel. Blue Goo consists of a proprietary formula developed specifically for the treatment of inflammation and general muscle ache. Blue Goo for my patients coping with hip and knee pain before surgery, especially bursitis and tendinitis. Give Blue Goo a try. Call 1-888-330-0123 and you'll receive a 1-week supply of Blue Goo absolutely free. The makers of Blue Goo are even paying the shipping. The number again is 1-888-330-0123. If you want more information on Blue Goo, visit online at www.dothegoo.com.
Now available at select Big 5 stores near you.
All right, folks, welcome back. Fifth Street Soccer, Sports Byline, SB Nation Radio. I'm Nick Geber in our Russia Central studios, along with Nick Webster, enjoying the atmosphere at the Cock and Bull in Santa Monica, Los Angeles. I don't know how I got this job, Nick, and you got that one, but I would say this is pretty unfair for me. Well, apparently Nick's having some trouble hearing us. All right, well, let's get to it, shall we? We're going to look at the matches coming up tomorrow. Let's start with a matchup in Group H. We have Japan, Colombia. Now, this is one of the toughest ones to call in this year's World Cup. All 4 teams here have got to believe they can come out of this group in qualifying. Once again, that is Japan, Colombia, Senegal, Poland in this group. Colombia, they are the favorites, the bookies' favorites to come out on top here. And given the surprise results we've seen at the World Cup so far here in Russia, one would have to think anything is possible. There is a little bit of history between Colombia and Japan. The last time these two teams saw each other was 2014, Colombia coming out on top 4-1. That was at the World Cup. That was the last time Japan had a World Cup match, was against Colombia. So now they're starting again. Colombia, though, they've been the draw specialists of late. They've drawn 5 of their last 9 matches, including matches, albeit friendlies, against Australia and Egypt. And you know, the one thing you get with this Japanese team, and I don't know if you can hear me, Nick Webster, but the one thing you get with this Japanese team is they are organized and they are fit and they are always up for a game. And you know what, Nick? Here are the odds. Japan plus 480, Colombia minus 131, the draws plus 258. For me personally, Nick, I'm going to take a slightly radical approach here. I like the draw, plus 258 for me.
Well, Oklahoma Brian is the speciality with the draws, isn't he?
He is.
His rationale is, well, if you don't fancy anybody, go for the draw. I will agree with you on the fact that Japan showed great work rate, but I'm not sure they're going to have enough in the imagination department to break down this Colombia team that, you know, with Falcao and James Rodriguez, these are 2 players that can really unlock even the tightest defenses, as you can see, and probably hear the England fans still going bananas behind me. I really like Colombia in this one. I know you like the draw. And this actually has been a World Cup of surprises so far, with the big teams stubbing their toes. But I believe Colombia will do it. It might not be the most attractive of games, but Colombia for the win in this one.
Well, I will tell you this. If it's going to be a draw, it's going to be a 1-1 draw, because none of Colombia's 18 World Cup games have ever ended scoreless. So if it's a draw, this is going to be 1-1, plus 258 for the draw, Colombia minus 131. And by the way, I would say that's actually not terrible value if you want to put a bet out there and you believe Colombia are going to win. Here, the over-under is 2, the under is minus 110, the over's minus 105. Nick, I think this is going to go under for my money.
Well, I like the fact that you mentioned Colombia, you know, minus 135 for the win. That is tremendous value, really. I know you have to put on a sizable bet, but this is a team that should win this game quite comfortably. And the return you're going to get on your money, I mean, it's practically evens, you know, minus a point or 2.
So probably the best strategy here would be place the bet on Colombia, hedge with the draw, and you should be set. I don't see any way Japan wins this, although the way this World Cup is going, quite frankly, Nick Webster, who knows at this point? Who knows? But very, very unlikely. Let's move along to the next match. It's Senegal versus Poland. Actually, what's interesting to me in this one is that Poland, you know, they cruised through qualification in good style. Lewandowski had 16 goals in qualifying. He is their main man. He is the guy that this team really runs around. On the other hand, Senegal are extremely quick up top with Mane and Diouf, and I'm not sure that Poland's defense can handle that sort of speed and pace that this Senegalese team are going to give. This is a match that I see as a draw again, Nick. And the draw on this one is plus 217, and the over-under is 2. I would go under, and I'm going for the draw.
Well, in our World Cup previews today, we have mentioned many times that every World Cup, there's an African team that comes out of the pack and surprises everybody. Right now, the 4 African teams have really done very, very little. In fact, they're all winless. So perhaps now this is time for Senegal to say, hey, it's our turn this time. I really like Senegal. I think with Mane up front, they have that look of danger about them. Yes, you mentioned Lewandowski. Lewandowski is the Polish equivalent to Harry Kane. Should Lewandowski get hot, then Poland all of a sudden become a very dangerous team. But Lewandowski had I wouldn't say he had the greatest of seasons with Bayern Munich. I mean, even though he scored 20-plus goals, he's a player that usually scores 40-plus goals. I think Lewandowski's getting tired of carrying this Polish team. I'm with you. I think Senegal are either going to win this game or tie this game.
Yeah, I think that's some very good numbers there. To win is plus 256. The draw is plus 217. The over-unders, as I said, are 105 for the over, minus 105, minus 110 for the under. Here is some information that you may want to put in the memory bank. Poland are unbeaten in 3 games against African opposition at the World Cup. However, out of these 3 matches, they've only ever produced 1 goal. So, you know, I'm not sure how much sort of statistics of history going back 20, 25, 30 years really matters in these World Cups, but it really does kind of focus in on the fact that you might on paper think, oh, Poland should run away with this, but I certainly don't think so. You've got to keep an open mind. Nick, let's go to the next one. We've got enough time this segment to move to the next match. This one for me is very interesting. This is Egypt-Russia. Now, Egypt coming off that loss against Uruguay, and quite honestly, Egypt coming off the loss against Uruguay, and quite honestly, I didn't think Egypt were all that bad. I mean, they were defensively what you would have expected from them, which was very solid, very difficult to break down. But they had no tooth. They had nothing on the attack at all. They couldn't present anything. And of course, that's because Mohamed Salah was not available to them. I'm going to give 2 picks here. Russia 5-0 against Saudi Arabia. That's like, I don't know, Nick, that's like Manchester United playing the boys under 6 team. It was men and boys. It was a complete mismatch. I'm not quite sure what to take out of that match, except that Russia got a +5 in the goal differential column, and that's important. So in terms of that might set Russia up, however, Nick, to be a little overconfident coming into this match. They're going to find Egypt a much more difficult proposition to break down. And if Mohamed Salah is fit, I actually like Egypt to nick this match. So with Salah, I'm going to choose Egypt at +305. If Salah is not playing, I'm going to probably choose Russia at +116, because I think they can keep the pressure on Egypt enough over 90 minutes to break them. The draw is +223. The over-under is -110 for under 2 goals. That's where I would go. Nick, how do you see this one?
Well, I think it's very interesting that you mentioned Egypt with Salah, Egypt without Salah. And what I would say to all the listeners and viewers right now is do not make your bet until the team sheet is announced.
Right.
Now, FIFA has to announce it 1 hour before kickoff. So at the 1 minute after the hour before kickoff, go onto any website in the world, hopefully betanysport.eu, betanysport.eu, look at the starting 11s, because there may be some movement in the odds as well. Because Egypt with Salah is a completely different proposition. I'll agree with you right there on Russia's 5-0 waxing of Saudi Arabia. Really, Saudi Arabia, one of the poorest teams I've ever seen at a World Cup. And I don't think that result reflects on who Russia really are. Throw Salah into the mix. And as you mentioned, Egypt become a very dangerous team. Not only are they organized, not only are they disciplined. I mean, think about this. They didn't concede until the 93rd minute.
Right.
But they know how to win games, and they've come through a very tough African group of qualifying. Salah on the field gives this Egypt look a completely different thing. And the interesting thing for me, Nick, is the coach said Salah would be available for the first game. Obviously, he wasn't. Are they playing games? Is Salah's dislocated shoulder enough to keep him out of the World Cup completely? I mean, for me, that would be a tragedy of football, and Ramos should be... well, I'm not going to say what Ramos should be, but I don't want to offend anybody. But, you know, if Salah's playing, Egypt are a different proposition. I like the way you're thinking. However, no Salah's, I think Russia wins the game.
Yeah, we're in complete agreement on this one, Nick. With Salah, Egypt wins. Without Salah, Russia wins. It's that simple for us on this one. So right now, Egypt +305, Russia +116, which is very interesting, by the way. They're both pluses on this one. However, folks, wait until the team sheets are announced. These lines will move. You have our guarantee. These lines are going to move and move quite radically. So before we go for this segment, let's wrap up our picks. Japan, Colombia. I have the draw. Nick, you have Colombia. We both have the under, if I'm not mistaken. Right, Nick?
Yep.
The other next match, Senegal, Poland. I have the draw. I have the under. Nick, you have it the same way?
I have actually, I fancy Senegal with this, and if they're given half a goal, take them straight up.
All right, Nick says take Senegal straight up, and we're both with the under on this one. And finally, the last match, Egypt-Russia. Again, folks, wait until the team sheet is announced on this one before you place your bets, because the lines will move. Egypt, if Mohamed Salah is playing, you should take that bet. Plus 305 right now. It will move again. If he's not playing, take Russia, which right now is plus 116. The over-under is 2. I would definitely take the under. I don't see a lot of goals here. All right, folks, that's going to wrap this segment up. We're going to be right back with more here on Fifth Street Soccer. This is talk you can bet on, and it's right here on the Sports Byline USA SB Nation Radio, also iHeartRadio. Big hello to our men and women in uniform listening on American Forces. I'm Nick Geber. He's Nick Webster. We'll be right back after these messages.
Turn to Lowe's for great deals on all kinds of gear to make this a summer to remember. Cut down on yard work time with up to 20% off select outdoor power equipment. If you're looking to add a little flavor to your summer evenings, a new grill is just the thing. Especially now, because you can get up to 30% off select grills for a limited time. All projects have a starting point. Start with Lowe's. Offers valid through 6/20 while supplies last. See store for details.
Attention to anyone that's written a book or wants to write a book. The process is not that complicated. Take a first step. Even if you write a page a day, you'll build momentum and your book will become a reality. The hard part is getting it published. That's when you need to call Page Publishing. They've got hundreds and hundreds of thank yous from different new authors, just like you. They make the process of publishing your new book and getting it sold online a simple process. You can learn how simple it is right now by calling for your free Page Publishing New Author Submission Kit. One quick 3-minute phone call, that's all it takes to get free information and learn how you can get your book published. Pick up your phone right now and call us 24 hours a day at this number. 800-603-0885. 800-603-0885. 800-603-0885. That's 800-603-0885.
If you or a loved one is suffering from a physical or emotional condition that has left you unable to work, then listen carefully. Take this number down. 800-593-7491. That's 800-593-7491. When you call, you'll speak with a Social Security disability expert and get a free evaluation to see if you may qualify for disability insurance benefits from the U.S. government. That's right, a monthly cash payment paid directly to you from the Social Security Administration. Whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied disability benefits, call now. The disability attorneys at Pinnacle Disability can help you build your case, file an appeal, and represent you at no upfront cost to you. Don't wait another minute to see if you may qualify for your Social Security disability benefits. Call Pinnacle Disability Group at 800-593-7491 for your free case evaluation. That's 800-593-7491. 800-593-7491. Call now.
When posting on most job sites, you get candidates.
I'm the sales director you're looking for.
I'm the sales director you're looking for.
But when you post on Indeed.com, you get the candidates just right for you.
I'm a sales director with an MBA, over 10 years experience, who's also fluent in Japanese.
With Indeed, you can add screener questions for a less time-consuming route to your short list of qualified candidates.
Arigato.
Hiring's better when you've got your short list. Save time on hiring when you post a job on Indeed. Get started today at Indeed.com/hire.
All right, welcome back to the show. Fifth Street Soccer, Sports Byline, SB Nation Radio. Nick Geber, Nick Webster. Nick Geber. I am here at our Russia Central Studios. Nick Webster is at the Cock and Bull in Santa Monica, where it sounds to me, Nick, that the crowd is dying down a little bit after all the excitement of the England victory.
Oh, thankfully, because it was absolutely bananas here, Nick. I wish you could have been here. The only equivalent I could give you is the Dog and Duck opposite the station at the Marylebone off the tube. I mean, it was King's Cross Station. It was bananas here, but good times. and the World Cup keeps on rolling. I'm certainly rolling along with it and enjoying every moment of it. And I'm so thrilled that England got the win. And Nick, we picked the over.
And we took the
so
over.
For those of you,
yep.
We took the over, yes. So for those of you that listen to Nick and Nick, you should have a few more dollars in your pocket. In fact, you know what, Nick? If anybody's listening to us right now and they're listening to our picks, then they are in the pound seats because there's 9 games in, and I believe we're batting well over 500.
Oh, well over 500.
A couple of really big, and we've picked some really big surprises.
Yeah, I want to say we've been in the money on 6 of the 9 matches, Nick.
Absolutely outstanding, and you know what? If this keeps up, I probably won't need to do this show by the end of the first round.
Well, I hope you do, because I'm going to have to do it by myself otherwise. Nick, a couple of things I wanted to touch on. First of all, Sweden with a rather uninteresting, unimpressive win against South Korea this morning. South Korea, they are always organized, they're always athletic, they're always technically decent team to play. I don't think, they really showed us anything, except I don't see Sweden really making much of a run in this tournament. South Korea, well, they didn't get any points, so that's bad news for them. Nick, I will say the Belgian team looked very good once they started clicking in, and once they broke down the Panamanian team that they were playing today, because quite frankly, this team today wasn't very good at all. This Panamanian team is not a great team, and I was surprised it took Belgium this long to really start to look like they had any teeth in this match. And it makes me wonder, Nick, how they're going to handle a team that is better organized, better defensively, and has much more endeavor on the counterattack. For me, I know this Belgian team is absolutely stacked, and there are times during our previews and prognostications leading up to the World Cup that I've sort of thought they could really make a deep run. I didn't see anything today that really told me either way on this, except didn't see enough to really get an understanding of it. How about you?
Well, I think the Belgian game was much like the England game, a game of 2 halves. England in the first half were magnificent, very poor in the second half, and managed to eke out the win. Belgium in the first half actually looked like a pub team. I mean, you're looking at all these world-class players, and they really couldn't get anything together. Their build-up play was poor. The play through the middle of the park was insipid, and they didn't create any chances. And as you just mentioned, once they finally got hold of it, though, they looked very dangerous. And Lukaku, can't hit a cow's ass with a banjo for Manchester United. Scores 2 very good goals. And now this is a team that's cruising. So, we've said all along, Nick, that this group will be decided by the England-Belgian game. And after today's performance, I don't see any difference. Belgium get Tunisia next. It'll be interesting to see how Tunisia do. I'm sure they're going to pack it behind, park the bus, and England get Panama, and we fully expect England to beat Panama. So I don't think we learned a great deal about the Belgian team, except that they do have some world-class finishers in the right parts of the pitch.
It's actually interesting that you mentioned Lukaku, because he is obviously one of the big stars on the Belgian team. You mentioned he's had a very poor club season, yet pops up today, scores 2 goals. Harry Kane, he's scored the star for England, scored 2 goals, and I understand he tried to claim Lukaku's goals as well from the other match. Also, Cristiano Ronaldo scores a hat-trick. Cherysov for Russia scores a brace of goals. This is one of these World Cups where the stars on the teams, when those teams are doing well, are performing like gangbusters, and that's what we like to see. It's also been a team effort all the way around. I mean, it is unbelievable to me that David De Gea for Spain looked like Karius at some points during that match, by the way, against Portugal, with some of his fumbles and bobbles. That one goal, I mean, he really did a Karius where it came off him into the back of the net. So we're seeing all sorts of crazy things this World Cup, stuff that you never imagined you would see. I want to dial this back for a minute, Nick, and I want to focus in on Argentina with you for a second. That, to me, was one of the most interesting results, because this Argentina team is stacked. They're not over the hill. these are some players in their prime. The German team, I can say, some of those German players are a little long in the tooth. But this Argentine team got a lot of players in their prime, a lot of players performing at the top. Was this an aberration for Argentina, or can we expect to see them roaring forward?
You know, that's such an interesting question, and I know in our World Cup preview we spoke actually quite a bit about the team they played, Iceland, and what Iceland bring to the tournament. And in terms of flair and nameability, Iceland have nothing, but they caught lightning in a bottle at Euro 2016. And I believe that Iceland actually have a lot more support than Argentina do worldwide. And there's something to be said for that cosmic coming together. Argentina, as we've mentioned, Lionel Messi is just, one of the greatest players we've all been privileged to watch. But it seems to me that the international game, it's not for him. And as much as Argentina and Messi may want it, and perhaps, Nick, they want it too much. You know, when you have, as English people, we've lived under the shadow of 1966, for crying out loud. How many years now? 40 years.
Yeah.
Argentina live under the shadow of Diego Maradona.
Nick, 52 years.
Oh dear, 52 years. But I would say Argentina live under the shadow of Diego Maradona.
Yeah.
And until you can shake that shadow, and it doesn't matter who you have as players. Argentina do have the best player in the world. England have had some magnificent players, but these are two countries. And the great thing about England and Argentina, although we've had our problems in the past, namely a war, we're so linked together because England brought football to Argentina, and we have the same issues. We can't shake the shadows of the past.
Yeah, that's a fascinating analysis, Nick, and so very true. The reason I bring that up, of course, is that this Thursday we got a massive match in that group where Argentina are going to have a lot harder of a time against a team that's going to possess a little bit more gumption than the Icelanders do. And of course, the Icelandic team put on a magnificent performance. But they're going to play Croatia. And I'm just wondering if the style that Croatia plays is more likely to play to Argentina's advantage than the style that Iceland plays.
Well, I mean, you would think, though, that Iceland decided to pack it in, park the bus, obviously play very disciplined but very defensive. And that would give Argentina the ball. And any person who's sane would say, whatever you do, don't give Argentina the ball. They'll kill you with the ball. And Croatia are not going to give Argentina the ball. Croatia are going to try and go head-to-head with Argentina in the playing stakes. So yeah. I actually think that the Iceland game was something that Argentina needed to win to get the confidence up, to let the world know that they were playing the kind of South American football they're capable of playing. And now the pressure's firmly on them because Croatia got the win.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Looking up for the rest of this week, we got some interesting matches. Serbia, Switzerland, Nigeria, Iceland, Brazil, Costa Rica, Argentina, Croatia, France playing Peru. Peru, by the way, I thought looked like a very game team. They really, I think, surprised a lot of people with their technical skills. I thought it was just an unfortunate, a penalty miss that really hurt them badly in their previous match. These are some of the matches we've got to look forward to this week as we get into the middle stages of the group. Nick, I want to go back to something that I talked about with you earlier, and this is for some of the new fans. We've got 4 minutes or so left to talk about this. I was talking about paradigm shifts and age shifts and sort of cycles in football. And here in America, there are lots of fans that have been new to the game over the last 15, 16 years and are used to the same old names over and over again. Real Madrid, Barcelona, Germany, Spain. Remember, 98 France were all the rage, okay? It was only 25, 30 years ago the Netherlands were the team to beat. So keep in mind, as you're watching both club football and international football, that football goes in cycles, that styles change, players age out, new players come through different systems and have different pulls. The countries they come from have different, their whole economies change, and so so the player pools change. All of those sorts of things are different. Listen, back in the 70s, Liverpool were the best team in Europe, hands down. And early 80s, they're hands down, they were the best team in Europe. Now, obviously, Real Madrid, the best team in Europe. Germany, considered the best. Portugal, Spain. Don't forget, Portugal, by the way, we're counting them out a lot in here, Nick. That's the team that's the current European champions. And for me, they look like a hot ticket with Cristiano Ronaldo on fire. But Nick, you mentioned something really, really interesting, and I need to remind our viewers and listeners about. Why don't you tell everybody what happened in the Euros with Greece?
Well, yes, back in 2004, I was lucky enough to be there in Porto. I think a 500-1 long shot to win the tournament. However, they were managed by Otto Rehhagel, who's a defensive mastermind. They came into the tournament and they won every game 1-0 piece. And they managed to eke their way out of the group stage. And then in the knockouts, no one could get through them. No one could find a goal. And they end up beating Portugal, the hosts of the tournament, 1-0 in Lisbon for one of the most dramatic tournament wins in the history of international football.
Yeah. So don't get complacent. When you, and I'm saying this not for your passion or your emotion. If you're a fan of Germany, you're a fan of Germany. If you're a fan of England, you're a fan of England. I'm saying this when you go to put your money down at betanysports.eu, whether it's this tournament or next tournament or the following tournament, don't bet with your emotion, bet with your brain, bet with your statistics. Nick, you and I put bets on England. We love England. It was probably a little bit of both this time around, but that's what you got to do. Make sure you're putting down the right bet and that you're hedging your bets accordingly. We're going to have one of the country's preeminent sports bettors on, Oklahoma Brian, who's going to give you some football betting strategies, and we're going to have those on. We're going to have him on the show this week. We are with you every Monday through Friday right here on Sports Byline USA, SB Nation Radio, iHeartRadio. We're on the web Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. Pacific time, then again at 6 p.m. Pacific time, where we are going to give you the tips and tricks in football right now during the World Cup to make it happen for you. And we're also on Saturdays, by the way, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern for 2 hours. So we want to make sure you are loaded for bear, that you are ready to go. All right, we do have to go to break. We'll be right back in just 3 minutes to wrap it up here on This Street Soccer. Again, we'll be back with you tomorrow to bring you more picks for Wednesday's games. We'll do that tomorrow. So all right, be right back.
If you are age 85 or younger, call to learn more about final expense plans from a licensed agent in the Angel Care Network. The average funeral now costs over $10,000. Are you at risk of leaving loved ones to help pay your debts? A final expense policy for seniors can pay up to $30,000 for funeral and other final expenses. You don't need a medical exam, and you can have lifetime coverage, and the policy cannot be canceled. To receive free information about final expense plans from a licensed agent in the Angel Care Network, call now. You'll also receive information about a free prescription discount card just for calling in. Agents are standing by.
Call 800-508-5774. 800-508-5774. 800-508-5774. Call now. That's 800-508-5774.
Results may vary, not a solicitation for legal services. If you owe the IRS back taxes, payroll taxes, or have not filed your returns, the IRS will get you. They can take your property, take you to court, even put you in jail. One call to Wall and Associates, and your tax problems are solved. Wall has saved clients over $150 million in the last 5 years. Our average client settles for about 10% of what is owed. With one call to Wall, you'll never need to talk to the IRS again. We offer free face-to-face consultations in your local area. Remember, Wall has a proven track record with a total client savings over $150 million. Call now for your free face-to-face consultation. 800-813-9940. 800-813-9940. 800-813-9940.
When you struggle with credit card bills every month, you're not just in debt. Debt is all around you.
I see people every day that are on the brink. They're going to go over the edge, and at the bottom is bankruptcy, and we pull them back.
At the Debt Helpline, we're experts at helping you resolve your debt problems and become free of debt. We can help you pay off your debt and give you one lower monthly payment that you can afford.
You do get to consolidate your payments. You only have to worry about making one payment a month instead of making 3 or 4 or 5.
If you have $5,000, $10,000 or more in credit card bills, call the Debt Helpline now for a free confidential debt analysis.
800-957-6063. 800-957-6063. Call the CESI Debt Helpline right now for a free confidential debt review. 800-957-6063. 800-957-6063.
All right. Welcome back to the show. Fifth Street Soccer, Sports Byline, SB Nation Radio. Nick Geber, Nick Webster. Nick, I'm going to say goodbye to you and thank you so much for your input. Before we go, Nick, we already said goodbye to Nick. All right, Nick, bye-bye. Back on with you tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. England. All right, goodbye, Nick Webster. Have one on me. All right, we're going to wrap the show up, folks. Before we do, though, I'm going to give you our pick, Nick and I's picks, one last time for tomorrow. These odds courtesy BetAnySports.eu. Go right now. Go online. Sign up. Get a 50% bonus on your deposit up to $1,000 just by using the affiliate code Fifth Street. That's simple. That's all you have to do. All right, let's do it, shall we? Here are our picks, Nick and Nick's picks. Tomorrow we pick the draw between Japan and Colombia. That draw is plus 258. Actually, I believe Nick Webster had Colombia, didn't he, Andrew? I think Nick had Colombia on that one at minus 131. I like the draw plus 258. We both say the under, which is minus 102. The under is 2. The point totals are 2. Let's go to the next match. Senegal, Poland. Nick likes Senegal at plus 256. That's Nick Webster. Nick Geber likes the draw at plus 217. We both like the under at minus 110. Once again, total points on that match, 2 goals. And finally, in Group A, the start-up of Group A again, Nick and I are in complete agreement here. The advice on this match, folks, don't put a bet down until you see the team sheets for Egypt. If Mohamed Salah is playing, we like Egypt with Mohamed Salah. Current odds on that, plus 305, courtesy of Bet Any Sports. Those lines will change, believe me, if Salah is playing. So be sure to check out the moment that sheet's released. Get on and make your bet. If he's not playing, we like Russia at plus 116. We both like, again, total goals here, 2. We both like the under at minus 110. All right, folks, hope you enjoyed the show. Once again, every Monday through Friday, we'll be right here on Sports Byline SB Nation Radio to give you the value picks, the dark horses, the favorites. We're going to give you your betting strategy right here, as well as have some good old-fashioned football talk right here on Fifth Street Soccer. Visit us on the web at fifthstreetsports.com, Facebook Fifth Street Sports Talk, and Twitter is at Fifth Street Sports. Until tomorrow, folks, I'm Nick Geber. Enjoy the games.
USA Radio News.
The Senate Judiciary Committee is holding a hearing regarding the IG report that came out Thursday of last week. Justice Department Inspector General Michael Horowitz spoke about how the FBI cannot be influencing elections.
I can't think of something more concerning than a law enforcement officer suggesting that they're going to try and use or may use their powers to affect an election.
Secretary of State Mike Pompeo was in Detroit speaking today. Once again, the topic turned to trade.
Chinese leaders over these past